the road trip as the game continues. Here comes A.J. White across the attacking line. Tied up back defensively was Cade Townsend. Now behind the net of Alexander. White out in front, and it looks like we have a delayed penalty coming against Idaho, happening right back behind the net of the Oilers starting goaltender Gage Alexander. So just 59 seconds into the game, Jordan Kawaguchi gets the gate. 2 minutes for hooking.
Yeah, just heavy on that forecheck there. Obviously, he went in there at the same time as the defender, able to get locked up with a stick, tripped the Tulsa defender, and referee thought it was enough to draw two.
So the Oilers look to take the early lead as they go on the power play. 21st ranked power play in the league at 18.7%. The Steelheads 15th on the penalty kill at 78.9%. Face off down to our right to the glove hand side of Kiley. Idaho will start this kill with White and Merchant up front. Earn and Register back defensively. Alec Butcher leaning in against A.J. White, wins the draw back to the line. A mishandle at the point by Fiorlio. And now played back for Jared Hilderman, who will roll back behind the net of Alexander and lead for Fiorlio. He'll drop back for Hilderman. Up to the attacking line. McLaughlin will beat out the icing. Now to the far corner. Nelson pinned up by Earn back defensively. Collected by Register as he'll skate it out through center and snap it off the blocker of Alexander, who steers it up into the protective netting. Face-off to come in the Tulsa zone. Minute 27 seconds into the game.
Yeah, Cam, you talked about it before pregame there, just about, they're in the playoffs already, but, penalty kill here is a great example of things they can dial in here going into the playoffs. Really shoring up, combinations, making sure their routes are all, there. This is a huge penalty kill here. I know it's early, but just things to look for if you're ever cheating.
Face-off glove hand side of Alexander. Draw one back by Matsushima. The club leader in goals with 24, but no power play markers as he starts up ice. Flips it out to the left wing for Krinkovic, the second leading scorer on this Tulsa squad. Now a loose puck on the far wall. Pelton Bice directs it back for Zloty, and the Steelheads will scale it the length of the ice once again, 50 seconds into the penalty kill. I'm always so amazed, Dollar, how quick that Everett Sheen and Keenan Kelly swap out these penalty killers. Even noticed it a lot last year, especially on the Canadian road trip as well.
Yeah, you if you're a penalty killer, you want them out there for 30, maybe 40 seconds max. Anytime they're getting it down 200 feet, you want to get them off. You want to get fresh legs out there, especially rolling 11 forwards out there. You got to get those guys in it early, especially off that long road trip.
Tulsa setting up shop now. 45 seconds left on their man advantage. 2:15 into the game. A shot from the line from Legrone is blocked by McCollum. Legrone will get it back center point, spinning it to the right wing. Sheriff. Down low, Krinkovic out in front. It was paddled off by Kiley inside the blue paint. And back out to the blue line as the Oilers keep it in the O zone. Legrone shot once again to the net, blocked in front, this time by Jake Murray defensively, and he'll pound the puck the length of the ice. And we'll likely get one more rush up the ice here for the Oilers. 15 seconds left on the Kawaguchi hooking minor, 59 seconds into the game.
Yeah, I really like how this kill is happening. They're getting pucks, they're clearing them hard, and then they're getting on that forecheck, putting a lot of pressure on Tulsa's power play.
Oilers on the move through center ice as Kawaguchi out of the box. So 3 minutes in, scoreless here. Jake Kiley will make a glove save on a long-range shot and elect for no further play. Well, Brosey, we were doing some calculations earlier this week about the Canadian road trip, which began back on March 6th. The club flew home on Sunday. All in all, in the 12 days, give or take a couple of miles, but it was calculated to find out the team traveled about 8,500 miles in terms of flights and buses.
Hopefully you got the miles there, Cam.
Yeah. Air Canada and United are my specialty. Out in front, Miller with a bid, and Alexander makes the belly save as Miller knocked off the puck on the far side of the goal line. Our Curry now behind the net, spinning it out front and sticked off by Alexander, and the Oilers will escape free out through center ice as Boudria will play it in, and Registers back to retrieve for Idaho. To the far corner, Kudla up ahead, our Curry behind his own blue line, up the left wing. Miller was going for a change, so that allows the Oilers to repossess as Gervais will dump it back into the right wing corner. Register now behind the net. He'll try again up the far side for Kudla. Out through center ice, connecting with Merchant, who will ladle it on in, and Millimuk will go in hard on the forecheck against Hilderman. Connor Millimuk signed yesterday to an ECHL contract out of Niagara University. And if you're wondering if it's Jeremy Millimuck's son, you would be correct. Connor Millimuck bringing an element of toughness that the Steelheads are looking to add here in the final stretch of the regular season and heading into playoffs.
Yeah, especially this time of year, you're obviously going to get those college free agents, those signings that can obviously add and bolster your lineup here. Millimuck's a great example of bringing that little toughness. Going to be hard on that forecheck and just bring a different level of expertise here to the Steelheads roster.
Steelheads win the faceoff, blocker side of Alexander. Shot from the right point from Earn went wide. Flocked up by Millimuck. Plays it back up to Earn along the right wing side. Now back down low behind the net. Pelton Bice, near side of the goal line. Backhand feed through the high slot was sticked off by the Oilers, and it'll trickle back into the Idaho zone to our right. Lincoln Earn, he began the season with the Tulsa Oilers in training camp. We'll get the puck in deep and head off for a change. Millimuck, far corner, spinning it through the right circle. A takeaway from McLaughlin, and he'll feed Dante Sheriff, who's off to the races. Lottie back defensively, and a tremendous left pad save by Kiley on Sheriff right at the top of the crease to keep it scoreless. 4:45 into the game. Steelheads back out through center ice. Here comes Merchant in his 350th career ECHL game. Will try to send it in deep, but the Oilers quickly back in transition as Matsushima will turn on the Jets down the right wing. Disrupted a little bit right in front of the Idaho bench. Tulsa regains possession behind their own blue line. Sheriff at the center circle, curls back behind his own blue. He'll snap it ahead for the defender, Dougie Legrone. To the far wall, McLaughlin. Back to the right circle, Matsushima backdoor, and it went off the skate of Murray. And here comes Keaton Mastrodonato down the left wing, across the attacking line. Long range shot, save made by Alexander. And Mastrodonato takes a heavy check from the 7th-year pro in Mike McKee, and we'll have a stoppage down at ice level.
Yeah, McKee's a big guy there, though. Mastrodonato flying down his off wing there, able to put a shot on net. Just McKee stepped up there just as he released it and put a good licking on Mastrodonato. But good play by Mastrodonato, get it across the blue line, get it on net, get an offensive zone draw.
Mike McKee, 408th career ECHL game here tonight. Began his career with the Oilers back in 2017-18.
I played against him, yeah.
I was going to say. That was before the Jefferson Dahl retirement ceremony, probably. Face-off one, blocker side of Alexander. Mastrodonato, who was sent to Idaho from the Texas Stars last week. Hudla, right circle out in front, picked off by Polson, and he'll carry out through neutral ice. 14:15 to go here in the first period. A shot from Krinkovic, the rebound, Butcher scores. The Oilers will take a 1-0 lead as Alec Butcher cashes in on a rebound at the top of the crease, backhanding it through the 5-hole of Jake Kiley. Tulsa out in front 1-0, just 5:47 into the game.
Yeah, just a turnover there in the offensive zone, in the neutral zone. Paulson kicked it off, able to go down almost like a 1-on-2 against the Steelheads, but then able to get a couple extra players there, get a shot on net by Paulson, and then Butcher was there to get the rebound. But it was a great first save by Keeley, just couldn't control that second one.
I'm impressed. Tulsa really crashes the net. They follow their shots up.
So Alec Butcher cashes in from Tyler Polson and Kyle Krinkovic at 5:47. 20th goal of the season for Butcher. Off the reset, the Steelheads working on into the offensive zone right to left here in their black sweaters. Demetrios Colmonsees, who scored a goal on Saturday night in Trois-Rivières in a 5-4 shootout loss. Trying to slip free, but it's back out through center ice. Now McCollum through the center circle. He also scored a goal in that shootout loss. Turns it over at the blue line. Gervais couldn't handle it, and Idaho regains possession. Davis Codd now to the attacking line. Boudria splitting free and a left shoulder stop by Kiley. Oilers head off for a change, and that'll allow McCollum to lug it out through center and dump it back in behind the net of Gage Alexander. 13:15 remaining here in the first period. Oilers with the 1-0 lead. Shots are 6-3 in favor of Tulsa. Polson able to direct it back in behind the net of Kiley, who will play it up the near side. Intercepted at the half wall by number 21. That's Sean Kennedy making his professional debut. Left point. Fiorillo will send it back in. Millimuck will pummel it back out through center ice. And the Oilers back in transition as this puck hops over the blade of Legrone, and Miller will race in on the forecheck. LeGrone will slip off of him and fire it up the far side. Boudria behind his own blue line now. The defender will spin it out in front of the scorer's table. And here comes Matsushima racing across the attacking line, dragging it to his backhand. His shot fought off by the glove hand of Jake Kiley on the near post. And Miller now will start up ice. Feeding near him right in front of the Steelheads bench. He'll sweep it up the left wing out of the reach of Merchant. Icing going to be waved off. McKee now back to play it for the Oilers up the left wing. And the Steelheads nearly kept it in the zone, but will regain possession now behind their own blue line. Kudla trying to connect with Merchant, just out of his reach. Collected by Thurston for the Oilers. Off the stick of Pelt and Bice, and now Matsushima will bank it up the right wing for Sheriff, who plays it along the backboards and up the far side. Kudla meets it at the far side of the red line. Register back deep here, played in his 600th career ECHL game last Friday night. Matt Register did, becoming one of just 14 players in league history to hit that plateau, and just one of 2 defenders. As the Oilers trying to scoop it out through center, knocked down by Pelton Bice, trying to go in front for Mastrodonato. It got sticked away. Now Kudla knocked off the puck along the end boards by Townsend. Mastrodonato able to re-corral up the near side. He'll sauce it right point. Register's blast and a right pad saved by Alexander. Kicked out to the left wing corner. Steelheads trying to tie the game at 1. About 9 minutes gone by here in the opening frame from downtown Boise. As Sheriff will send it back towards Jake Kiley to our right. Pelton Bice back to flock it up. Will send it up the right wing, and Kawaguchi will direct it in as our Curry races in on McKee. McKee in the far corner, off the glass, and McLaughlin will knife it out through center, and Earn will play it back in offensively for Idaho. Near half wall, White converging on the rookie Davis Codd. Now tied up along the kick plate. Codd will escape free. He'll try to connect with Gervais out of his reach. Lincoln Earn back. Now White will send it back behind the cage of Alexander. A little bit of a track meet it's starting to turn into here.
Oh, it's fast.
Yeah, that shift before, though, with Pelton Bice's line, had some good sustained pressure there. Kudla jumping into the play, getting some offense.
Here comes our Curry, kicks it out right wing. Milamuk, wrist shot on the left pad, stopped by Alexander. Kicked off into the end glass. Milamuk back to the right side of the line for Trevor's in to the net, tipped by our Curry. Never made its way to Alexander in the blue paint as Gervais angled off the puck by Milamuk. Cole Monsees will send it up for Milamuk right wing, who will dump it back in and head off for a change. Cole Monsees up the near side. Pulls up left point. Across the line he goes for Zins. Center of the line. Murray down low near him, near corner. Saucing it out in front, and it made its way all the way to the far side. Picked up by Polson, and he'll turn on the Jets out through center. Polson cutting free down to the right wing corner. Murray back defensively to shadow him off. Now the Steelheads will carry out through center right to left. Near him, across the blue line, flipping it through the high slot. Sticked off by the defender back defensively in Tulsa, Cade Townsend. And now directed back out through center ice. Kudla up the left wing. Mastrodonato down his offside. Just got a handle on it to direct it into the near corner. 9:12 remaining here in the first period. Still have yet to see our first media timeout as Alec Butcher has the Oilers with a 1-0 lead. Here's a wraparound bid that was sent wide by Townsend. Sheriff now far wall. Back to the left point. Holding onto it. Fury low out in front. Blocked down, and Kawaguchi will snap it up the left wing. Mastrodonato across the blue line. Dropped back for White out of his reach. Now he'll re-corral it and send it back in along the backboards. Flocked up by Sheriff, and he'll race out through center. 3 goals in his last 4 games. Dante Sheriff taken down at the offensive blue line, but will remain at 5 aside here with 8:33 to go in the first. Lincoln Earn up ahead for Kawaguchi near half wall in his own zone. To the far wall he plays for Earn. Matsushima in pursuit as Earn will snap it out to the center circle. Idaho able to nudge it back in behind their own blue line. Now Fiorlio up the left wing. McLaughlin will direct it back in behind the net of Kiley. Zloty back defensively. Flips it for Merchant, who lays it back for Pelton Bice. Driving across the red line. Now hands it out to the right wing. Merchant shot. Blocked down in front of Alexander by the defender back in Thurston. Pelton Bice along the back wall. Tied up with McKee. Tries to go out to the line. Picked off by Gervais. And he'll send it up the right wing here for Davis Codd. Codd angled off the puck and dumped to the ground by Zins at the hash marks. And Townsend will meet it right in front of the scorer's table. Hayden Townend, who signed on March 12th out of Robert Morris, will snap it back in. It's the 4th professional game for number 14 in white. Here comes Jake Murray leading the charge out through center ice. Will sweep it on in. Back behind the net of Alexander, right to left. Murray now up the far boards, out to the right point. Hopped over the handle of Comonsees, and Kiley comes out far side of the goal line to play it. Kiley up ahead of the defensive blue line. Murray will angle it back to the near side as Fiorlio back to play it. Shots are 7-5 Oilers, 7:08 remaining here in the first period. Alec Butcher's 20th goal this season at 5:47 from Kyle Krinkovic and Tyler Polson have the Oilers out in front 1-0. And Kudla ties it! Right on cue, Patrick Kudla with a low wrist shot in the right circle beats Alexander near side, and we're deadlocked at 1 with 6:58 to play in the first.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. Kudla getting into the action in the offensive zone, jumping down there. Again, he caught that one from our Curry around the dot on the offside. Put a beautiful shot far side just over the pad. Great opportunity there by Kudla and able to capitalize. And a break for you. That was about 6 or 7 minutes there without a whistle going back and forth.
Patrick Kudla from Willie Nearham at 13:02. Kudla's 10th goal this season, his 4th in his last 8 games. Evens the score at 1.
Yeah, you can see it there too. Obviously, kind of what you expected there after that long road trip, trying to get your legs back into it, weather the storm from Tulsa. Tulsa came with firepower there early, but over the last 2 or 3 shifts, 4 shifts, you saw Idaho kind of getting back to their game, having that sustained offensive pressure.
Face-off back at center ice, won by the Oilers as they look to retake the lead here. Register along the back wall for Kudla, who now has 48 points in his 50th game this year. Has also played 6 games in the AHL. Kudla came into tonight's matchup tied for 3rd amongst ECHL defenders with 47 points as Kiley will make a save, and we'll take our first media timeout with 6:29 remaining in the first period. When we come back, all tied at 1. Stay with us. You're watching and listening to Idaho Steelheads hockey right here on the Steelheads Broadcast Network.